play it all or nothing. Yeah, need it all in advance. The opposition know we're ready for it. Like a supper we eating, it won't be the last. Grind all the muscle, pull up. Poker right on the grass. We coming in, take over everything, run it up. Nothing holding me back. 3 in the wood, rushing.
Welcome to Takeover, the most underrated sports debate show on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe for that weekly sports content, and definitely send your takes. We give each other hot takes, but we want you to do the exact same thing with us. And I'm jumping right into it today. I'm not announcing no names. You know our names because you've been watching this show. So, D'Angelo, I'm going to ask you straight up. They already saw the title. Should we feel sorry for Brittney Griner? LeBron James has been in social media talks about this. We've got Brittney Griner's wife speaking up about this. How should we feel about this whole entire Brittney Griner situation?
All right. So first off, I do think it's important to say we need to have empathy for Brittney Griner and her family members as well, because if we had someone in our family in that situation, or even us ourselves, we would not want to be in that situation, period. Or we want to have someone that we cherish and love be in that situation. So I do think it's important to have empathy for her and her family members. However, I do think it's important to say that in today's climate, you need to be aware and you need to be cautious. So with the climate between Russia, Ukraine, and the US at the time, it wasn't a good idea to carry any type of drugs through Russia. And being that Brittney Griner played in Russia for 7 years prior in the women's league, I don't know the details. Maybe she wasn't fully informed about the rules and regulations in Russia. But one thing I do know is that Vladimir Putin does not play. And when I speak about being aware and being cautious, she is a well-known WNBA player. She's been a household name since her years in college, I believe. She's also a woman who likes other women, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I believe, I'm not quite sure, they aren't too keen of that in Russia. And also, she is an African American woman. So you should already be aware that you have a target on your back already. Yeah, that's basically what I have to say about that part. I just think it's important to be aware and to be cautious. But I do believe that there should be more of an effort to help her as well, like the LeBron Jameses and the Steph Currys and the Giannis's, you know what I mean? I believe that those players have already spoken up about it, as you referred to. But players of that nature should speak up and use their platform to good use as well. Even the Stephen A's of the world, the Shannon Sharps, the Skip Baylesses, people of that nature as well should speak up and use their platform as well. And the U.S. should definitely do more to help Brittney in this situation as well. And I'm not an expert in politics. I've never claimed to be an expert in politics, but Donald Trump did get LiAngelo out of China for shoplifting. Am I correct? So I believe that Biden should be able to do something to help Brittney Griner. And I would just like to remind everybody that this is not to take attention away from Brittney Griner, but there are other Americans who are detained in Russia as well. So it's a bigger situation as well. And these people don't have as big of a name as Brittney Griner, so they don't have the platform, or their names aren't out there on a regular basis. So I do believe that the U.S. should definitely do more to help Brittney Griner and others as well.
Well, first of all, I think it's bold of you to assume that Joe Biden will actually do anything positive, because he doesn't seem to be good at doing things by himself, but that's a whole other conversation for another time. The other thing that's important to note is when LiAngelo got out of China, the U.S. wasn't actively funding another country that was at war with China. So that's part of the equation, is that the U.S. has currently sent about like $60 billion, probably more than that, to Ukraine, which doesn't exactly, jive with what Russia is trying to do. So I think that's the biggest part of the conversation, is that, we're talking about trying to get a prisoner out of a country that by extension we're currently at war with. So, be that as it may, the other part of it is I'm with you in that we should feel empathy for her and her family, because it obviously sucks that she's being detained and that she's going through this whole process. That's always a drag on everyone involved. But I mean, for one, she did break the law, and as you said, she's been over there before. She had to have known that weed wasn't legal. A lot of countries are not as forward with that as the United States is. It's not even legal in certain parts of the United States. It would be a crime in certain parts of the United States what she did, crossing state lines with drugs. But then the other part of it is, I mean, nobody's really talked about this. Like, I remember seeing that she got detained, and then I forgot about it. And then the only reason I even know about it now is because LeBron finally said something 3 months after it happened. So, we want to make this big deal about like the U.S. government hasn't done anything. Nobody's put pressure on them to do anything. Nobody brought this up. Nobody said, "Hey, we should be trying to like at least get her out before trial, so that she's not rotting away in some Siberian prison or wherever they throw people in Russia, because living there as a citizen is terrible. What do you think they do to the prisoners? I've seen Stranger Things. They don't seem to treat them very well. So I think that's the big is we want LeBron and a lot of other people in like sports media. They want to make it sound like, oh, the government hasn't done anything. They haven't done they've done nothing to help her. I mean, neither have y'all. Y'all have put no pressure on any of this. Y'all haven't done anything. Y'all haven't helped try to hire her a lawyer that could help her out. Y'all haven't even gone to people that are experts in Russian politics and tried to find a way to get at least some kind of loophole to get her out and over to America before trial. That's the real issue here, I think, is that it's not the U.S. government's job to protect someone who's broken the law over there. I mean, it's nice when they try to do it, but it's not their job. But if you want them to do it, put some pressure on them. And there has been zero public pressure up until the last 3 days for this to happen.
The great columnist Stephen A. Smith once said, "Stay off the weed." Do I feel empathy for Brittney Griner? A little bit. But the truth is, Brittney Griner plays for a Russian team overseas. Brittney Griner knows the rules of Russia. She probably has gotten away with these rules, so she finally got caught up, and now this is what's happening now. So how bad can we really feel? Everyone has that family member who probably drinks a little too much. All right? We tell them stop drinking a little bit, but they keep going. So do we really feel bad when they black out all the time? Not necessarily, because that's what they do. Brittney Griner has done this multiple times and she finally got caught. And I think the media is trying to twist this as of we don't care about the WNBA or anything like that. But in reality, like Josh said, she broke the law. What exactly are U.S. officials supposed to go out and do when she literally broke the law? Weed is not only illegal in Russia, it's illegal in most of the United States still. So it's like, what exactly what loopholes do you want us to jump through? Because she honestly would have got arrested if she went to a certain airport in the United States. She would have got arrested doing a lot of other things. So I'm saying, I don't know how sympathetic we can really all feel for Brittney Griner when she knows the rules and regulations, because she plays in Russia. So I just kind of find it hard, personally. But it's cool that athletes like LeBron James have spoken out and things like that. But I just see, like, if you do a crime, do the time.
I got a question for you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
So I know you guys have probably seen like the tweets going around. I can't remember exactly who said it, but I think they said if this was LeBron or some other big name NBA player, they would have been out already. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? Because me personally, they like to bring up the pay rate and all of that stuff, but I don't see what that has to do with anything. But y'all can go ahead.
LeBron James had the spotlight on him since he was in high school and has a spotless record. LeBron James would never be in this scenario in his life. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Everybody else, I feel like I don't know who all be in this scenario. Like players who've had problems with weed, it's been what? D'Angelo Russell, Dion Waiters. I mean, I don't think any of the top players would be in this scenario. Like, I just don't see it happening. What do you think about it, Josh?
I think that even if LeBron did end up in the scenario, the U.S. government would never have to do anything, because I think he'd have an army of bronze sexuals on their way to Russia to break him out with their LeBron James retro jerseys and whatever, ammo, guns, weapons they could scrounge up. I don't think it would have to be that big of an issue because of the amount of dedicated followers. But like Cam said, I don't think he ever would be in that situation, because LeBron has spent the last 20 years, doing everything he can to stay, keep his nose clean, and he hasn't slipped up not once. I mean, he said things that get him criticized, but he's never broken the law. He's never got caught up in any kind of mess. And I mean, you can't say yes or no, because like, it's a very big hypothetical. We don't necessarily know how the government would handle it. And honestly, it probably depends on the president that was in there. Because if Obama was in office, then yeah, probably he'd go get him because he's a basketball fan. But if Trump was in office, I mean, LeBron said a lot of things that were not good about Trump. So Trump wouldn't get him out of spite. But remember, Trump did also try to get ASAP Rocky out. So who knows? But we're going to switch to basketball. The NBA Summer League is going on, which means we're getting to watch a top rookie, a top second round pick on each team, and then 13 guys just trying to score G League contracts. So we could focus on the G Leaguers and the guys that are actually trying to, continue their dream. But instead, we're going to focus on the big money rookies. Guys, what rookie has impressed you the most in these 3 games of Summer League play that we've seen so far?
Josh, you probably bet I was going to come up here and say Chet Holmgren and be all out on my OKC Thunder. But you're wrong. The rookie that has stood out to me is Scottie Pippen Jr. A lot of people aren't talking about him, and a lot of people aren't putting his name in a lot of situations, but he's doing a lot of great things. I think his ability to break down defenses with his passing or his ball handling has been a very underrated factor in his game. This was the same guy who at Vanderbilt led the SEC in points, so we know he can score. Now he's showcasing that he can pass, and a team like the Lakers that needs some type of shooting, some type of facilitating, I feel like this is great for them as well. And I also think he's very handsy on defense as well. You think of a coach like Darvin Ham, he's very defensive oriented. I think he's very well fit in that Lakers system as well, and he has the ability to finish at the rim. I think he's been able to make all the players around him better. And I think he's just honestly a special talent that not a lot of people are talking about. So I think a lot of eyes should be put on Scottie Pippen Jr. over the things he's doing over there in LA.
Okay, so I chose Keegan Murray of the Sacramento Kings. When Sacramento drafted him, a lot of fans thought that they fumbled the bag again. Oh, Sacramento did it again. But Keegan Murray is beginning to look like one of the most NBA-ready talents in Summer League, and he fits very well with Sacramento as well, and he plays his role well too. What with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis handling the ball a lot, and they're relatively good passers, I believe that Keegan can really fit well in that system. He played alongside, I think it was Luka Garza, who at one point led the nation in scoring. So he had to learn different ways to score. So he developed the outside shot, and he could score on and off the ball, as he's averaging 21 points, 44% shooting from and 40% from 3. We're talking about a player that has great length, he has great size and mobility, he has great defense, and not only is he good on defense, but he's also versatile. He can defend 3 to 4 positions, and overall I just think he's a package of a player who can translate well to the NBA, and he has one of the most polished games in Summer League.
So a lot of it, when I hear impress, I'm looking for a player like Scottie Pippen, who I didn't necessarily expect to be this good this fast. And so far, the guy that I've kind of been looking at is Benedict Mathurin, from the Pacers, because I thought he was going to be good, but I didn't think he was going to be this good this quickly. Because to me, he always looked like a spot up shooter who was going to kind of chill on outside the arc and hit his threes and do his thing and compete on defense. But so far in Summer League, he's looking like he could be a potential 3-level scorer. And obviously, I don't think that'll hold all the way to the NBA because he's actually playing NBA players versus guys that are going to be playing in Europe. It's going to look different, and I think that's always important when you're talking about Summer League breakouts because it's a very niche type thing. But so far, Mathurin he's been very consistent. He's been getting buckets from all 3 levels, and I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing. And I did like him as a prospect coming into the draft, but I didn't think he was going to be this good this quickly. I thought it was going to take about a year for his body to kind of mature and for him to really get into this bag. I'm not impressed by Holmgren because he's doing exactly what I thought he was going to do, which is block shots and be skinny.
Hey man, Holmgren is gonna turn. That's our mini KD project. We trying to rebuild that big 3 up. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for
Well,
them.
you're going to need to get the ball handling first, my guy. He's still missing that pull-up jumper.
Hey, we gonna work on this game. Hey, OKC champions 2027. 2027. 2027.
Play that clip
We in
back
there.
when
We in there.
play that clip back when they're still rebuilding in 2027 and Sam Presti's trading for 2035 first-round picks.
It's okay. When Trae Young doesn't get back to the Eastern Conference Finals in the next 5 years, it's gonna be
Well,
the same.
that's not going to happen, but that's cute.
We gotta wrap up this episode. Josh, you have anything to say?
Like you said at the beginning, I want everybody to like, comment, subscribe, and send those takes because I'm waiting to engage one of y'all because I know some of y'all talk crazy behind the scenes. Bring that out to the forefront because I've heard some stupid things be said to me. but they're not willing to put it on the internet, so it doesn't count. Put your money where your mouth is.
What? Cam, I don't know if you already said this, but I'm just gonna reiterate it because sometimes y'all tend to forget. Subscribe, like the video, also leave a comment, let us know how you feel about what we said, and hit the little bell too so you can be notified every time we upload. Because y'all like to watch us, so be notified. You know what I mean?
I don't really got nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? Takeover out.
Hey, champ. Yeah, we play it all in night. Yeah, need it all in advance. The opposition know we're ready for it. Like a supper we eating, it won't be the last. Grind all the muscle, pull up. Parker right on the grass. We coming in, take over everything, run it up. Not that holding me back. 3 in the wood, rushing. I don't like Dutch, don't even matter, I'm a face. And when I roll a paper, I like to go double. Run up a check, flip a W, make it an M. I need